What's happening, peeps? This is Carlton Lewis, aka Mellow Melanin, aka Mega Businessman, coming to you live and direct from a little bit north of Atlanta, but I'm still in Metro Atlanta. What's going on, Road Warriors? What's happening, my peeps? Hey, I just have a quick question for my people that drive XL and Plus vehicles. That's UberXL and Lyft Plus vehicles. Got a situation, right? And I feel like this, you know, Lyft is expanding. Both of these companies are growing. You know, more people are using the service. Now, something that Uber has that Lyft doesn't have is a separate UberXL profile. All right. So if you don't want to do UberX calls or UberPool calls, then you don't have to do them if you have a vehicle that qualifies for UberXL. Lyft doesn't have this feature. And, you know, if you've seen any of my previous videos, you know that I used to drive an UberX slash classic Lyft vehicle, you know, just a sedan vehicle, could hold, you know, 4 extra passengers besides myself. So when you move up to a bigger vehicle, Lyft doesn't have a Lyft Plus only platform. Now, if you have a vehicle that can qualify for Lyft Premier and Lyft Plus, then they will separate you with a different platform. They'll separate you with a different profile, I mean. So, you know, something happened. This is the second time it's happened. You know, I really don't want to do any regular classic Lyft rides because I have a bigger vehicle. It takes much more gas. So, you know, I'm just a little frustrated by Lyft right now, because you have all of this. These companies are technology companies, all right? They're technology companies. That means somebody's sitting around coding and programming and doing things and making changes to these apps. And Lyft is always generally mimicking what Uber does. Now, they may have been on point with some things, but generally, even when it comes down to pricing, especially here in the Atlanta market, Lyft is basically mimicking what Uber is doing. So here it is. Something happened last week, right? So I canceled a ride. I actually didn't accepted a ride, you know, because I'm touching my screen and I'm using Maestro. So I don't, you know, if the ping comes through, right, for me to, you know, see if I want to accept the ride, I generally won't accept it if it's a classic Lyft ride. All right, I will not do it because, once again, it's not as profitable, and it's going to cost me more money to operate my vehicle to do a regular classic Lyft ride. Okay, so I'll let those calls go by, and with Maestro, it helps me stay online. You know, Lyft will sign you off if you don't accept a certain amount of calls. It'll just sign you off, right? But Maestro helps me stay on. So big shouts out to Maestro for that. That's one of the main things I use Maestro for. But you know, if I'm touching on my screen, and maybe I should have this on a separate device, but it's kind of difficult to do that when you're using Maestro. But if I'm touching on my screen, then what has happened ultimately is I accepted a ride that I didn't mean to accept. So I canceled a ride because I'm not going to get the ride. You know, it's generally going to be a short ride, and I'll get sticker shock when I see how much the ride pays, and I'm used to earning more money because I have a bigger vehicle. All right, so I canceled some rides. So last week they sent me a message, said you were canceling more rides, canceling a lot of rides. We're gonna log you out for 30 minutes. So it logged me out for 30 minutes. I'm like, okay, all right. So it happened again today, right? They sent the notice yesterday because I canceled a ride, and I canceled it by accident once again. Well, I accepted it by accident, but I canceled it, and they actually sent me a message saying, okay, you're doing a lot of cancellations. You're at risk of deactivation. I'm like, whoa, okay, so I didn't even turn them on for a little while, right? What has happened today is a ride came through, and I canceled it because I accepted it by mistake. And, you know, I'm waiting on the Plus rides to come through. But because they don't have a separate profile for Lyft Plus only, then, you know, if you accept the ride by mistake, number one, it's going to ding your acceptance rate. And then number two, you can get you know, if you cancel it, then you're going to get dinged for canceling a high number of rides. I'm a top driver. My driver rating is a 4.9 for Lyft, all right? It's a 4.94 or something like that for Uber. You know, and this is over a combined 5,000 rides. So, you know, it's not that I'm being a bad driver. I'm a damn good driver. I practice world-class customer service, but because Lyft, and I hope somebody from Lyft hears this, because Lyft's system is not set up where a driver can have a plus only profile, then I'm getting penalized for not running those type standard Lyft calls. All right, they're not profitable for me. It doesn't make any sense for me to do that. That's just like if I was just running regular UberX calls and knowing they're not profitable, and I just keep doing it in a vehicle that's just drinking gas. That makes no sense. It makes no sense. So, Lyft, when are you going to get with the program? All right? It's 2017. We're going into 2018. Your competition has had this ability to separate profiles for a few years now. You guys don't have it. You guys want to compete with the big boys? Then you got to look at what the big boys are doing. All right? So now you've got a driver in an area where there's probably a high demand for service, but you don't have a driver here anywhere. Okay? You don't have a driver here anywhere. So now you're losing money because you put me in timeout. All right? So you put me in Lyft jail. What can happen? All right? So you're missing out on your money because you won't do a separate profile. It probably would only take less than a day for someone to code a separate Lyft Plus profile into your system. You guys got billions of dollars. You've been evaluated as an $11 billion company, and congratulations to opening Lyft up into the Canadian market. Now you guys are international. So you got to change the game. You got to go with the flow. You got to step up with the times. All right? That's all I'm going to say about you guys. Maybe someone from Lyft will hear it. Maybe not. But you guys really need to tighten up. All right? Peace. Once again, this has been Carlton Lewis, a.k.a. Mellow Melanin, a.k.a. Mega Businessman. If you want to get 10 killer rideshare tips to help you earn more and drive less, go to www.ridesharedrivingtips.com. Sign up, subscribe to my list, and you'll get that in a PDF coming right to your inbox. All right? Peace.